and we'll move right along into this pouch here next. And this is more quick clot. This just happens to be a different packaging, but it's the same sponge, the exact same 25-gram sponge that you saw in my other first aid kit. Got 3 of those. In here, this is Celox, and this is a really great product. You would tear this open, and inside is a powder that looks something like baking soda, but you would just pour it into your wound and put the gauze pad over it and hold it for about 5 minutes, and it's guaranteed to to clot, even with people on blood thinners, or say if you're what is that blood condition? Hemophiliac. It'll even work on that, because it's not, well, I'm not a scientist. I read it and I can't even explain it back to you how it works, but it bonds to the red blood cells in a certain way that's unique and creates a clot. So I was a big fan of Celox and wanted to make sure I had some of that in my gear. And I've got 10 2-gram baggies in there. And this is just more gauze, sterile 4-inch wide wraps. Figure if I have gauze and the gauze pads, I could, you know, do a lot of good with that. And in the side here, going along with the gauze kind of idea, just one big one, big gauze wrap. That would be for some massive burn or something. Let's see, this side has nothing, and in back here, and I'll get to the middle compartment, this is kind of where it shines. These are Splints. These are just aluminum splints, and that's where the gauze would come in handy, or the surgical tape as well, just to keep it secured in place once I had it, say on a leg, or, you know, splinting an arm in place, wrapping it around. So I figure 2 would be better than 1 in that, just in case. Now here, another Israeli bandage. This one happens to have 2 pads on it, so it's like, you know, well, the picture on the back illustrates some poor fellow with a puncture wound inside the left or the right side of his chest and coming out the other side. So you could wrap a pad here, and compress the whole thing. So this is for somebody having a really bad day. This is for somebody having a moderately bad day. It's a smaller 4-inch one, and it's the same kind of concept as this. It has the compression bar and all that. But this is the one we demoed in a previous video. So I have 3 of those plus this guy in there. And also, it's an unfortunate reality, but sometimes you might have to tie a tourniquet. And this was a SWAT T tourniquet. It's just really stretchy kind of material, plastic material. And in the little demo, you can see him kind of like tying it off over some guy's, I guess it's his arm or something. But yeah, it'll be there if I need it, God forbid. And so that's kind of the idea. Oh, and of course this giant bottle, which I'm sure you're all curious. It's the iodine solution. It's pretty much just what we had on the prep pad and the surgical kit, except it's a 16 fluid ounce bottle. And you could use this to irrigate, you know, just squeeze that puppy and flush out the wound instead of like using your hand to brush gunk out. So that would be good for sanitation and all that.
And what would you say is the value of this bag, Stephen, just for the contents of your investment?
To be honest, shipping ate up most of the price on that, because most of this, actually almost everything, is off the internet, except for a few items I got at like Walgreens and HEB. So if you didn't include shipping, I would say this bag probably has roughly like a $200 value, but I probably spent another $100 just getting it, or not 100, that's an exaggeration, probably about $50 getting it all shipped here. And one final note, and this is where most of the money probably came from, and this is something I kind of regret to bring up, but I'd feel bad if I didn't bring it up, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. In here is 4 adult doses of potassium iodate. Now, I have 3 roommates, or 2 roommates and myself, and who knows, probably come across somebody that'll tag along. But what ISAT is this particular brand. There's multiple brands of potassium iodate, and for those of you that already know what potassium iodate is, you know why I'm reluctant to bring it up. This is what you would administer to yourself in the event of a power plant melting down like Chernobyl, or possibly in the event of a nuclear detonation. Now, what a lot of people seem to forget about Hiroshima and Nagasaki is that many people survived. Now, a lot of them did die immediately from just the mushroom cloud, you know, being on the street close to the blast site, just straight up vaporized and turned into shadow on concrete. But people sitting inside a building right outside that street survived because the blast wave didn't knock down the building quite on top of them, maybe. So there were a ton of survivors. A lot of them had blood poisoning, you know, died an ugly way later in life. But what this does is it floods your thyroid with positively charged iodine. And what happens is, in a nuclear detonation, apparently there's a radioactive form of iodine that typically fills the thyroid of an exposed victim. And by doing this, when you first find out about an accident or a detonation, you're helping yourself long-term by preventing different kind of cancers and developmental issues that could happen since the thyroid regulates your body and all your other systems. So that is an absolute worst-case scenario. I hope I never need it, but just the way things are going and all the trash talking Israel's doing to Iran, and since they have nukes and since we have nukes and we're likely to back them up, and God only knows what would happen if that really kicked off hot over there. I just don't know anymore, and I'm not really a child of the Cold War or anything, but I feel like I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's there, you know, God forbid, absolutely God forbid that ever occur. But
it's very comprehensive, the different items you've selected, and I think the shipping is key. I think it shows how much time you've invested to research what special items you would need to help yourself or other people, and you know, that's just a reality.
And I'm sure it's missing some stuff, but the reality is there's only so much space, so I got to figure out, you know, what I'm most likely to need versus what would just be nice to have in there.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Sheftall, for sharing with us this wonderful piece of gear that you have that will more than likely save somebody's life.
Hope so.
Attention.
Safe? Hello, San Marcos. This is the weekly Lady Bugout Report, San Marcos News Live, where we will discuss ways that you can prepare you and yourself and your family for urban and natural disasters. Lock it in live, San Marcos. San Marcos' own weekly news report, Lady Bugout series.
Lock it in live, San Marcos. Sister Survival Disaster Preparation, Lady Bugout.